This movie was brought to you by DwayneWright.com, FileMaker Framework Solutions, virtual one-on-one FileMaker training, consulting, and custom design services. For more information, please visit www.DwayneWright.com.
So here we're going to go over the perceived problem with FileMaker Go and portal scrolling, and one implementation that I experimented with on resolving the issue. So let's go ahead and open up the In Business Money application. And we'll jump over to Accounts. And let's go over to the ledger, and let's pick up a date range where we know we're going to have more than our number of records. Okay, so there's one that's got, this account has got 69 transactions to it, so we know that the portal here is not showing us all the records it could. And the reported problem has been with the portal scroll bar and actually activating it and using it effectively. It does work, but it may take some time or a few tries to actually click in there. You see on the third try I was able to click into it, and it didn't stay very long. It popped right back again. And so there you can kind of scroll down. It's just not the most elegant way, and I think FileMaker knows about this, and they're going to be doing an update. So between the update that takes care of that, and now I was trying to think of different ways to handle it. So one thing I was thinking is that if you're in a particular portal item, portal record row, could you easily just quickly go down 10 records or up 10 records in that row? And to do that, you almost have to know what row you're in with a more visual indication. So what I ended up doing is, if we click on the this tab here, I used that conditional formatting technique when you click inside of a portal row to highlight that row. Let's close the window. So here you can see we've highlighted a portal row, and that just runs a script trigger that sets a variable, and that then the conditional formatting goes, hey, does the variable equal to the ID in the variable equal the same as the row you're in? And if it is, highlight it with a different color. Now, so if we click on the down 10, then that just executes a script that knows what our portal row number is and goes down 10. And then it does detect if there's less than 10 records left, it just goes to the last record. So let's go ahead and close this. And now you can see that we're in there, and if we click outside of it and then try our portal scroll down, you can see that, yeah, we were on record 3, and as we clicked down 10, so we're on about the 13th record right now. Let's go down another 10. So you can use the portal scroll. It just takes a little while to no, we didn't want to do that. And there you can tell we're down about 23 records from that point in time. And then we can click on the up 10, and then of course we can click it again. And try to scroll again. And there you can see we're on about the 5th record, so as we go down. So these buttons right up here were my way of trying to work around the limitations that you have with the ability to click into the portal scroll bar reliably on your first try. And again, once you click in it, it does okay. So these would be more of helper applications. And again, this is just something when you're doing with a mobile type of environment. I've seen some people say about showing these in list view, but then it's kind of hard to go from parent record to parent record and have the related records show like the portal experience provides. So that's the FileMaker Go implementation. We'll go ahead and cover a little bit of the programming that I utilized to get this technique working.
So in our previous segment, what we illustrated was a perceived problem with FileMaker Go and portals in the ability to click into the scrollable portal area off here to the right hand side. And although you can do it, it's not the most elegant. And what our goal was is to create a supplementary method to navigate a portal. And so what we did was put in coding to highlight a portal row to give a visual indication to the user where they are, and then added a couple buttons to go up and down the particular portal row records by 10 record units. So let's go ahead and turn on our script debugger. Take a look at that. Matter of fact, while we're at it, let's go ahead and turn on our data viewer. So the very first thing we're going to do is go ahead and click into a portal row and then see the highlight script take place. So when we click in, you can see that we have a onObjectEnter script trigger attached to these fields, and it's running a script called highlight row. In that script, what it does is it writes to a global variable, so it's a part of memory, and what it's writing to it is the primary key ID of the related transaction and the current row number. And then it just refreshes the window so that you can actually see the visual indication of what row you are in. So as we step through that script, you'll see that we write our data viewer, that upper part of global variable memory, as we go from step to step, and then you'll see our visual indication of the field we clicked into. So we click set variable, and then down here you can see our row ID A1186. So the row that we clicked into, that's its primary key, the portal row's primary key. And we had clicked into row 14 out of them. We'll refresh the window. And so we close out and we scroll down. There we can see the 14th row was highlighted, and now the FileMaker still knows that's our particular row. So then let's go ahead and bring our debugger up again, and I guess we can bring our data viewer up as well. So now what I'm going to do is click on the down 10 button. That performs a script called down 10. Just 2 steps in there to go to a particular portal row and then go to the field transaction. So when we go down, you can see it's already moved down 10 records. So there's our current record, which is still highlighted because we haven't gone into a field and thus activating that onObject trigger yet. So it has gone down 10 portal rows. But then when we go to the field description, so now that record is now the active record, and you can see our highlight has taken place. And if we choose the up 10, that performs a script called up 10, and it goes to the portal row up 10, so you can see how that's highlighted. And then that record is highlighted as well. If we go and click the down 10 again, and then let's just go ahead and take a quick look. We'll exit out of the script and the data viewer. We just have a little bit of code in that go to portal row. It's a going to that portal row by calculation. So we could just go to the next 10th record, but we added a bit of a calculation to it. And that just says that, hey, I'm going to take a look at the number of related records I've got. So that's how many that will be shown in the portal. And if that is less than 10 more than the record that I'm on, just go to the last record. Otherwise, go 10 records up. And about the only other thing that I guess I could show here is if we go into layout mode, that highlight is using conditional formatting. So if we click in that row, you can see that we've got a object underneath it that, you know, is transparent. So if we right click, we can get our conditional formatting. And again, it just has a formula, and when that formula is a true result, it does a fill color that we've chosen. It's green. And all it's saying is that, you know, that script, that row ID that we wrote up into memory, if that equals to the primary key of the record that we're on in the portal, then that is true, and then give it that associated highlight. So that's really about all the coding that's available or necessary for this particular technique. And again, it's not it doesn't change the default behavior FileMaker has as far as the portal scrolling, and it still will work on FileMaker or FileMaker Go as that goes. But it does give you an alternative action if you find that using the portal scroll area with FileMaker Go is something that's bothering you, or you just can't click in there quite right. And I'm sure FileMaker is going to tweak that as they can. And I have seen that there is a stylus that's out right now that is compatible with the iPhones and the iPads, and that'll, I believe, give you a more targeted area than what your fingers can, and it's got the capacitance in it that the screen will recognize. And so that way you may get around some of the small little nuances of small scroll areas or radio buttons or checkboxes. Do you have questions or comments about the video you just saw? Please feel free to email me at info@dwaynewright.com. Thank you.